Yeah.
With some of the modern luxuries, where do you think this goes? Where do you think it go? Do you think it just continues to
Uh,
get worse and worse and worse, and the resentment against men just gets to the point where women try to overthrow men, and it becomes a silverware? Like, where do you think this genuinely goes?
oh, you want me to be honest? Honestly, I believe are too far gone. And I love the manosphere because I love what you guys are saying and preaching, but honestly, we're too far gone. You're going to save a few women, and a few women will hear this message and will do right, but in society as a whole, we're gone. I don't think we'll ever get back to the point in time that we were in for thousands of years where women were fully understanding their roles and their positions. We can never get back to that. We're way too far gone.
So where does it go? Does it go just to a society of individuals, or where does it lead to? Does it lead to a war? Does it lead to you get what I'm saying? Because usually when there are opposing superpowers don't pass each other or surpass each other without a war. So what I'm saying is, where does this go?
Okay, it goes to where we are right now, and I think a lot of people don't realize what we're in right now. We're in a point in time, and I think I've heard these statistics before, where what is the single mother household percentage? I think it's like, what is it, like 70 something
78% of
percent?
children born out of wedlock.
Right, especially in the black community, is worse. So that's where we're going. We're already here. We're not going anywhere. We're here. This is it. Now, I believe, and you keep fighting the battle to the bitter end. And so that's why I support the manosphere. I kind of deny my own femininity, my own ways, and I go along with what I'm supposed to do. But we're done. But I support your efforts to fight. You fight to the end, but there's no turning this ship around. We're done.
Wow. That's a pessimistic message there, Nyla.
No, it's not pessimistic. It's just realistic. But it's not pessimistic in the sense I'm not saying give up, or put out the white flag. I'm saying keep fighting. I believe in fighting to the bitter end. But the reality is the reality. How do you turn this around? And if you're, I don't know if your platform is focuses on Black Americans, or is it for everybody?
Well, I think you turn it. The
Well, I
only
mean,
way
that's
I
the
could see it
question.
really turning around is if you educate people on how they can personally benefit from unionships, in terms of
Okay,
just
good.
money, finances, the quality of life that you may go on to live, and the quality of life your children may go on to live. I think that we have to stop a relation or marriages just being built on love, because love is an emotion that's slippery. Love
Absolutely, I
is.
agree with you. But if I can add this, though, I agree with you. But how many subscribers do you have, and how many people does social media as a whole reach? It reaches millions. And so that indoctrination, how does someone like you, or the few channels out there, how do you turn around an indoctrination that has been planned for a long time? You can't. I'm not saying that you stop, but I'm saying that keep going forward, but we are too late. And I keep saying this, even me, I'm a woman that knows to submit. I fight it myself. So how does somebody like me that understands all these things, I still fight my feminine neighbor? So how do you give this message to women that have been indoctrinated by, women, you're queens, you're gods, you're this, you're strong, all these, how do you fight that? It's not possible.
Hold on,
But
let
we
me
keep
let me add another
going.
person. I see somebody over here,
Okay, I'm
Dondra.
sorry.
No, no, you can stay in. You can stay in. I'm gonna just add him to the conversation because he looks like he got something to say about it. He laughing now, but let's see what he got to say. I want to see if y'all can have a conversation about this.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our power, Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Kakodash. Call Halalim Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Kakodash. That's in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahushai and in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorantly called God or Jehovah, and his son's true name is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the believers in this gospel, the hope for the elect. That was the done point, we have gone too far, and as is written, let's get this precept here real quick. Psalms 124 and 1, a song of degrees of David. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say it. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, Then they had swallowed us up quick, when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our souls. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be Yahweh, who had not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, who have made heaven and earth. Clearly, heavy, you know. We're too fucking far gone. Sorry for my French, yo. If it wasn't for the Most High, would be when there's no hope, yo. You know, that's why scripture say, truly, see if we can get it real quick. I'm not sure where it is. Let's get this. Jeremiah 3 verse 23. This is Jeremiah 3 verse 23. Surely in vain is salvation far from the hills, and from the multitude of the mountains. Surely in the Lord Yahweh, our power is the salvation of Israel. And the Israelites today are the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, and Latinos. You know, funny, verse Psalm 32. Return, ye backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art the Lord our God. You know, if it wasn't for the Most High, you know, there's no hope. You know, people are so fucking far gone, you know, destroyed as a nation, which go even back to the curse. When I go to Deuteronomy 28, and I think about verse 47 or so. It's a yoke of iron. Deuteronomy 28 verse 48, it says, Therefore shall thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. We have been destroyed as a nation. When you even look up the Willie Lynch syndrome, you know, right, and let's make a slave, how them set up basically with the woman to come up against men, you know, and men are against each other, right? When you look up even the woman's liberation movement, or they fund that, you know, it was all done to destroy the Israelite man, the Israelite community, you know. And when you pre the media, right, and even young kids growing up, men and you know, both males and females, yo, you know, it's a destroyed set of people mentality, you know. And if it's not for the Most High, that's the only hope we have, you know, because even pushing forward the so-called red pillar movement, you know, and try to educate women, it's embedded in even our flesh out through generations, you know. If it's not for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, would be fucked, you know. Sorry for my French, yo. This is Romans 7 verse 23. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? You know, as the female said herself, yo, she know the truth, yo, you know, to that degree that she spoke on, you know, and she a fight herself. Even me as a man in this sphere, yo, a higher degree of truth, you know, the truth, you know, and still a fight, still a struggle, yo, you know, only hope, you know, as a nation, you know, as individuals at that, you know, is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to come and set things straight, yo, take us out of this fucked up society, you know, and destroy the wicked, put them down, you know, and give us new bodies. Else there's no hope, yo. Too far gone, you know. Verse 25. I thank Yahweh through Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord. So then, with the mind I myself serve the law of Yahweh, but with the flesh the law of sin. You know, because we're far gone. This is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the horse his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They are they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto hunger. They are gone away backward. Backward, yo, as it's just the female state. You know, thousands of years ago, women didn't know them rule. They used to follow it to the most part. But now, women don't even know them rule literally, yo. You know, literally, women growing up nowadays don't know them rule. Them not have no clue what's supposed to do as a female. Men don't know them role as men. That's how fucked up the society is. Speaking truth nowadays, it become what people hate you. As scripture say, he that turneth from wickedness making himself a prey. That's how far gone the society is right now. You know, right to death. As scripture referred to as dry bones. Verse 5. Why should he be stricken anymore? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither modified with ointment. You know, no healing, just straight destruction. People just get waxing worse and worse. Verse 7. Your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, literally. You have the gutter rats over them now, over there in our land right now, the cracker, the devil himself. Our people call themselves Gentiles and I praise these crackers in our land right now, you know, right, as the holy people, the people of the Most High. Far fucking gone. Believe that them are so-called black people are African, pushing this black vibration madness. Our Christianity, which just fucked over the minds of people. And it is desolate and overthrown by strangers, and the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in the vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. You know, left with basically so far and dead. Verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been like a Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. You know, our only hope is the elect of the Most High, you know, chosen, you know, right? And if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for that guard where the Most High put among us, you know, as he stated that he would have done, you know. I'm gonna go to Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 5. It said, behold, ye among the Gentiles, and regard wonder marvelously, for the work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. And this was a miracle that you have the elect waking up right now to that dead state of mind, that zombified state of mind that will grow up in you and building for generations upon generations upon generations, being fed by this bullshit ass wicked knowledge of the so-called white race to destroy us as a people. You know, it's a miracle that you see brothers waking up to all the hurt, yo, and certain women coming to and the knowledge, yo. If it wasn't for the Most High, we're gone. This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass that in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. The white man smote our people to destruction, to the point they don't even know them fucking nationality. They don't know themselves. Me can't talk for myself too. I didn't know my nationality. Me don't know the name and power. Me don't know who me be. Lost. You know, basically I follow everything you see on the media by default, because what you supposed to do? Your parents grew up in a fucked up society with a fucked up mentality, destroyed. Who would be your role model? It said, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And that's what the elect is doing right now, to hell with the society and the knowledge. Our hope, everything that's written in the scriptures, we're going to follow to the best of our ability, and that's been done by the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If it wasn't for him, we're doomed. Verse 21. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. You know, right? The remnant, the Most High have kept. How about Shem Yahushua has kept this remnant, yo? Not we for ourselves. Him protect us, you know, and feed us, and guide us from the high level of madness and destructive mindset that's out there, people basically indulging on the daily, but hope is there in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to basically set the record straight and make a righteous vibration go back out through all the hurt, and Yahweh is coming back to have that done. This is Malachi 4 verse 2, and I'm referring to verse 1. You're actually telling the destruction, because this wicked society is to be destroyed, and set up a righteous kingdom, to basically Israel be the new role model of righteousness. So Malachi chapter 4 verse 2, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. We need Yahushua to heal us, because we have been destroyed, we have been broken as a people, mentally, physically, every single way you can measure, we have been destroyed. The scripture refers to us as dead. That's how far it went. We died. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, and we start at verse let me see, let's go to the point. Verse 25. It said, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation on the end of your world, the end of the rulership of the so-called white race, which is the worst ever fucking rulership on the face of the earth. Verse 26. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitant shall be changed and turned into another meaning. People mindset will change. It's going to be mandatory. Now we'll have strict dictatorship, new rulership, new governance, a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, as is written, where women will know and follow their righteous role, and man will know and follow their righteous role. Children will grow up as children, and the whole this fucked up media that's been brainwashing and indoctrinated people in wickedness will no longer be. No longer any so-called white man dictate over govern your house and picnic can get rights to divorce parents and all this madness, people watch and sip on the TV, when they're watching the movies and hearing the songs. No longer will wickedness be promoted. It will be put down. And anybody who don't seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the nation of Israel that is, will be put to death. These nations are going to full servitude, slavery. So they will have no say. There will be new rulership. Verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and the seed shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And that's the time we're waiting on. So brothers out there pushing, continue push. We see the fucked up state of people in, to the point where this female can say, we're gone too far. There's no coming back. But indeed, there actually is, not on this side though. That's in the kingdom of heaven. Right, when people will be all righteous. And that's only be done by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua power. He places in the hands of the so-called white man, for basically punish us. Right, and he is going to pull us out. But the remnant going to turn on this side, and fully basically be perfect in the kingdom of heaven. So we'll fight. We'll fight for that salvation. We'll fight for perfection. Because we see it as a people, as a nation, far gone. As the scripture represents a degenerated plant, a strange plant. And we look up the word strange, go back to degenerated, right? And brother Kabasha always bring it out, degenerate go back to a fall from unsexual quality. Our ancestors used to be far from that. Far. But all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, there is hope. The Most High left us a remnant, right? And then by that remnant, truth will be established, throughout all the hurt once more. So let's get that real quick. Isaiah 2. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days. So this will only be in the last days, which are in the last days now, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, the governments, So no longer will there be any UN, there will be no NATO, there will be no EU council or for push no fucked up vibration through the earth. And the World Health Organization will push this mad pandemic. Those that all of that don't know. No more US government, no more no more fucking nations that rule. And I push for them mad philosophy and the damn cracker himself, the devil, basis of men. Reading back verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And that's when righteousness will reign, and evil will be put out. Giving all praises to our poor Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Kakodash. Call Halalim la Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Kakodash. The one is unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to our full